Hello, I'm Gregg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room. Well, it is Super Tuesday, the sequel. Lots at stake here in the Republican race today as voters head to the polls in Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, and critical winner-take-all states of Ohio and Florida. Is Donald Trump in for a big night? Can Rubio and Kasich win their home states? Joining me now with analysis are Democratic strategist David Mercer and Republican strategist Brad Blakeman. Gentlemen, good to see you both. Brad, let me start with you. Let's pick Ohio. Let's put up the Quinnipiac poll there because it is a dead heat between Trump and Kasich. How do you handicap this? And is it Kasich's, I won't say last stand because it may be his only stand?
Yeah, I think it's Kasich's only stand and Rubio's only stand in Florida. I think Kasich, because he's the sitting governor and the kind of organization that he has at the grassroots level throughout the state, I have to handicap him and say that he's more likely than not to pull this out. It won't certainly be by going away, but he doesn't have to. Winning the most critical state in the Republican primary, Ohio, gets to have him fight another day. And remember, it's block and tackle. If Trump wins Florida and he wins Ohio, he gets to fight another day, still 3 people in the race. Their whole object is to prevent Trump from getting 1,237, the delegates needed to nominate.
And David, when Brad says 3 people still in the race, he's excluding Marco Rubio because he's seen the latest Florida poll by Quinnipiac. Let's put that up on the screen, and there you go. Trump is really sort of trouncing by a significant margin. Marco Rubio, Trump 46, Rubio 22, Cruz 14, Kasich 10%. Is Rubio kind of finished here?
I believe so. And those numbers you just mentioned, that's even after Rubio spent $9.7 million in Florida to try and buttress or to secure a lead. And as your numbers are showing, that's absolutely not the case. And I think we'll see him, like we've seen many others, withdrawing after Florida, because especially this is his biggest chance to take Florida, to take a state that's a winner-take-all. If he were to win this, he'd have a bunch of delegates that he could then leverage with momentum to other states. But in this case, he's going to come up with a goose egg, a big fat zero. And I think after spending that kind of money of $9.7 million in his home state, he won't have the resources and donors won't support him going further as well.
All right, let's talk about Ted Cruz for a moment. And he has a very strong organization, ground game, get out the vote effort, and it could pay off in a couple of states. Let's begin with Illinois. We have a poll here by CBS, and Cruz is actually, he's down 4, but he's within the 4-point margin of error. The same thing in Missouri. He is down by 7, but they have a large margin of error in that particular poll. And so he, arguably, one could say it is a statistical tie. He's within the margin of error, though he is down by 7. Brad, Cruz really has to pull something off here, doesn't he?
He does. And remember, Illinois today is a proportional state. It's not winner take all. So Cruz desperately needs to get some delegates. He cannot walk out of today with nothing. And we have North Carolina, we have Missouri, we have Illinois. Long shots for Cruz in outright wins, but if he can pick up some delegates in Illinois, he's got something to crow about. But the story, let's face it, today is Ohio and Florida. Everybody's going to be talking about that for days, and Cruz has kind of laid low because he knows that he's not relevant today. But he may be relevant tomorrow. You
know, the other thing everybody's talking about, David, my wife included, who brought it to my attention this morning, is this Super PAC ad. The Super PAC is run by a former aide to Mitt Romney, who was out there campaigning for John Kasich. And the ad is a bunch of women reading aloud many of the offensive comments that have been uttered by Donald Trump about women. The ad begins with bimbo, dog, fat pig. I mean, I must say, anecdotally, it seems effective, but is it too late?
I don't think it's too late, and as we see a lot of the candidates or former candidates, Romney included, doing everything they can, throwing the kitchen sink at a effort to stop Trump from gaining further momentum in getting the nomination. I think, going to Brad's point, that he needs to do well in Missouri or Illinois and those states that may not necessarily be winner take all, so he's only 99 delegates spread from Trump, and if he can continue to gain delegates, that keeps Trump from gaining enough delegates to win a simple majority at the convention, and that is at least the closest they may come, being his opponents, Trump's opponents, and those that would rather not see Trump as a nominee, from getting that nomination. And if they do go to the convention without Trump having the number needed for a majority, on the first ballot, everybody has to be committed to those that they were committed to in terms of their candidates. But if they don't, then they go to everybody becomes unpledged, or 85% of those delegates can vote any way they want. Right. That's a raucous convention.
Yeah, well, let's go 110 ballots. I think they did that in 1924. All right, gentlemen, good to see you, Brad and David. For the latest poll results and complete election coverage, go to foxnews.com. I'm Gregg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.